Today we're going to go over the operation and the functions of the Halcyon air tower from Alternative Design. So this is the exhaust pre-filter. To remove the pre-filter, you push this button, it flips out a pull tab. You pull the pull tab, remove the pre-filter, and here's your pre-filter material. To replace it, you go in the opposite sequence, push it back in, and push the tab down to lock it. The supply pre-filter is on the bottom. You remove it in the same way you did the exhaust filter. You push the button, flips the tab out, pull it out to remove it, and there's your pre-filter for the supply. You replace it in the same way. Push the pre-filter in and push the tab down. Alright, this is the main screen of the Halcyon air tower. We're going to go in and change the cage pressure. I'm going to show you how to change the airflow, and I'm going to show you how to change the cage style itself. All of those features are functioned from the main menu button. So you press the main menu button. You can change the cage style by pressing on that icon. It asks for a passcode from the factory. The passcode is 143. You hit accept. And then you have options of changing it from Max 75, the Dura cage, the Flex Air, the Ultra Air cage, to a rat cage, to a large mouse cage, or to a double-sided large mouse cage. So in this scenario, we're going to select the Ultra Air cage. So as you can see, the icon down here has changed to Ultra Air. We're currently running positive pressure at 55 air changes an hour. To change the cage pressure from positive to negative, again, press the main menu button. We're going to change airflow this time. We're going to use the same password, 143, accept, and we're going to go to negative. So as you can see, we've changed now to negative pressure. We're still at 55 air changes an hour. If we want to change the air changes per hour, we go back into that same screen, change airflow, 140, 43, accept, and we can go up on our air changes an hour, or we can go down on our air changes an hour. The minimum is 45, the maximum is 80. So we accept that. We're now running 80 ACH and then negative pressure. Next, we're going to talk about how to change that passcode. That was the factory default in case you want to lock out your screens to being able to be changed in the field. So we're going to go to the main menu. We're going to go to change passcode. You're going to type in your existing passcode, which is the one from the factory, which was 143. We're going to accept that. It asks for a new passcode, and for this display we're just going to pick 1, 2, 3. Make sure it's the one you want, hit accept, and from now on you cannot change the airflow using the old factory default. It takes you back to the main screen. So now your passcode is now the 1, 2, 3, accept, and now you can make your changes. So if you want to use that to lock down your units in the field or in the animal rooms to keep your technicians from adjusting this, you can do that by changing the passcode. The next button in our menu screen that we'll go over is the main screen button. Anytime you're in this setting here, to get back to your main screen, you'll actually hit that and it'll take you back to the main screen of the unit. The next option we have is battery backup options. This unit on display today has a battery backup in it. So by pressing the battery backup options, we have two options. We've got a battery optimization, which actually slows the fan down regardless of the setting you have it, to 45 air changes an hour, which is the slowest it will run. That's used to maintain battery life. Should you have a power failure, it'll go into battery backup mode at a lower volume, and it'll actually run longer on this. You can actually change it to uninterrupted battery use. So if you had the unit set at 80 ACH, it will actually try to maintain that for as long as it can until it runs out of battery. So as you can tell, that will deplete your battery much quicker than it would in the optimization. But you can pick either one. You can pick it as optimization or uninterrupted. I'm going to change it back to battery optimization and hit accept to get out of that. The next button we'll go over is the filter status. In this screen, in future developments, we will have the options to set up reminders to replace your pre-filters. If you want to replace your pre-filters every month, you can set up a reminder and it will display on your screen that it's time to change your pre-filters. You can also set up your HEPA filters on an annual maintenance program, and you can check the status of their pressure drop on this screen. Additional settings that we can set. This button will set the date and time. That helps with the alarm and the notification over the Wi-Fi system. The time setting also sets the time for the unit so that you can know what time an alarm happened in the middle of the night. The units actually will show you if it's set up for Celsius, Fahrenheit, or the metric system. Wireless settings, we can go into setting up to hook up to your local router in your facility. Alarm settings, we can set up or show you which alarms are actually currently set, and the rack configuration is how the racks are set up in your room. This is the date screen. You can use the up and down arrows to change your month, day, and year, and when you've got the date that you're currently on, you hit accept to get back. This is the time screen. You can also set the time. It's military time, set for up and down arrows as well. Next, we're going to go over the units. The units were currently set up on pressure. It's telling us that the unit came from the factory set up as inches of water column. The flow is set up in CFM, which is cubic feet per minute. The temperature is currently set for Fahrenheit and degrees. The humidity is percent of relative humidity. So if you request it from the factory with different settings, your unit will come and it will show you what those settings are. So the wireless settings function is where you'll set up your web key for your wireless security for your facility. You can actually disable the Wi-Fi at this point, or you can download a new configuration from your USB. In the back of the unit, we'll connect a memory stick into the USB port that we can actually download a new configuration that will allow it to connect to your internal Wi-Fi using your web key and password. You can also disable the Wi-Fi, and it will actually show you if you are currently connected to any Wi-Fi routers. We're going to go over the alarm settings next. So in the alarms, this tells you that it's currently going to alarm you on power failure, a supply filter problem, over temperature, a fan failure, exhaust filter, or excessive humidity. The rack configuration will be on future firmware releases, where you can actually select what size rack you have connected to the air handler so that it knows how to adjust the air handler. In some units, your unit will come with a battery backup option. To disconnect that battery, you have the option here to turn it from on to off, and you also have a connection point here for a lockout tagout. The back of the unit, you can see the AC power is connected here with the on-off switch to turn the main battery power on and off. You've got a supply collection hose here that senses the pressure in the unit you're supplying air for, and you've also got an exhaust connection hose here. You've also got a system status, which is actually to connect to building alarm, which will connect to a watchdog, Edstrom watchdog system. You've got the Wi-Fi antenna, and you've also got a place for a memory stick, a USB memory stick. These are used to add new software to the unit, to upgrade your software, and it also, as you have it plugged in, will actually record any data onto the memory stick to use for diagnostics by our tech service department.